Hello, I'm Lucia, and today I'll be presenting an online dictionary, Dictio, and primarily at the translation between various sign languages and spoken languages that has been and is being developed at the Masaryk University in Brno, Czech Republic. Firstly, we'll look at the origin of this dictionary, then we'll go through how and by whom it is currently used, and we'll end with the interface and show how to work with it and what options it offers. So this is the link to our dictionary if you want to look through it on your own. We said that the dictionary originated at Masaryk University, but more specifically, it is a part of it called Teresias, a support center for students with special needs, that recently celebrated its 20th anniversary. The center provides maximum accessibility to all degree programs across our university for students who are deaf and hearing impaired, visually impaired, with limited or restricted mobility, and many others. This generally means providing assistants and interpreters, making the classrooms and buildings accessible, but also the preparation of study materials like hybrid books in Czech Sign Language or books and maps in Braille, and of course, this dictionary. Now, let me properly introduce this dictionary. Dictio was created circa 13 years ago with the original aim of helping the communication between the students using Czech Sign Language and the university. This was the stage where mainly Czech Sign Language terminology from various specific fields was put in. For example, informatics, mathematics, biology, and so on, with the translations into Czech. We drew inspiration mainly from the canonical work of sign language lexicography by Johnston and Chambry, where they stress the importance of including linguistic metadata such as the lexical category of the sign, region of its use, or possible grammatical modifications. Dictio was also inspired by already existing sign language dictionaries of Italian and French sign languages, where they included semantic definitions and examples in the given sign language and not in the surrounding spoken language, as was the custom before. Later, it became clear that such a dictionary can serve multiple purposes and multiple groups of people. With an aim to include all Czech and Czech Sign Language lexicographic material that has already been published, either printed or online. For Czech, it wasn't a problem. We included several important Czech dictionaries with all their information, links, and definitions. For Czech Sign Language, the resources were much scarcer, and they needed to be further processed. It was common, for example, that a given sign did not have its definition, but only a translation into Czech. However, as these incomplete dictionary entries were being processed, more projects were appointed, more people involved, and so the dictionary grew. Now, more and more of the Czech Sign Language lexicon is being covered, and new entries are being created, so that the dictionary stays up to date with the current state of the language. Also, as Czech Sign Language is a highly understudied language, there is no national corpus, so Dictio plays a substitute role, being the biggest collection of Czech Sign Language material so far. Together with the increase of Czech Sign Language entries, Dictio included other languages, both spoken and sign. Through various international projects, the language situation today can be seen in this chart. While these various included languages made Dictio into a multilingual dictionary with both translations and definitions, when I add Czech into the picture, it is clear that its focus still lies within documenting mostly Czech and Czech Sign Language. This brings us up to date with the dictionary journey, and as we can see, it has departed rather significantly from its original purpose. Today, though it is still used by students, translators, and interpreters communicating in Czech Sign Language, it is also a great tool in training a new generation of interpreters, used both by the students and the lecturers of a new study program interpreting of Czech Sign Language at our university. Moreover, due to its considerable size, the dictionary is a useful resource for linguists in advancing the documentation of Czech Sign Language, but also developing and implementing new lexicographic methods. I work as one of the editors and linguists, but our team is much richer. We have editors with a background in linguistics and philology, native speakers of Czech and Czech Sign Language, as well as Slovak and Slovak Sign Language, deaf and hearing impaired, and also Czech Sign Language interpreters. Let us now turn to Dictio interface and its use. Here on the home page, you have some general information, and then right below you can choose whether you want to translate something, which will bring you to the bilingual dictionary, or you want to search for a specific expression and its definition. Let's look at the latter situation first. The first thing we need to do is choose a language from this drop-down menu of all the available ones. If you choose one of the spoken languages, for example Czech, you then simply type in the word you are looking for. You can also choose a specific lexical category in the advanced menu below. Let's say we decided to search for the Czech word škola, meaning school. This is what we see. On the left side of the page, there will be all the entries that include the string škola, including idioms. We can then click on one of the entries and look inside. Here we chose the first one, school itself. The structure of all entries follows the same set of rules. This goes both for spoken and sign languages. And right below the head word, the lexical category is given. And then, if applicable, there's a conjugation table. Below the general information, there are the meanings of the expression. Here we see two of them. The definitions are given in the language we are searching in, and so are the examples of use. Between the two, you can see a clickable link to another dictionary entry, a synonym to the word, škola, and note that it is linked to the specific meaning of the word, and not to the whole entry. So this is how one meaning is documented, and there can be however many of them are needed for one entry. Within škola, we have 7 of them, and below all the meanings, there's a gray button that goes to the multilingual dictionary and gives you the option to see all the available translations for the specific meanings. We'll look at this option later, but now let's focus on the collocations that we see below. There are 2 of them for škola. The first one, materská škola, meaning kindergarten, and the idiom ze staré školy, meaning roughly old school. Now this concludes the search in a spoken monolingual part of the dictionary and the entry structure for spoken languages. And now we will look at sign languages. When we want to search for a specific sign in one of the sign languages, the options become more interesting. As soon as you choose, for example, Czech Sign Language, this input option appears. And as you can see, various hand shapes and their variations are available and can be selected by clicking on them. These hand shapes were partly taken from SignWriting materials. In fact, it used to be possible to also search the dictionary by SignWriting symbols, but it turned out that these options were more user-friendly. Apart from hand shapes, you can specify the place of articulation when clicking on the person in the bottom row. You can choose among several main places, such as the neutral signing space, the chest, the arm, and so on. But when it comes to the head, the places are more specific and smaller, so there are also more options available. Finally, when you click on the 2 hands at the bottom row, you can specify whether the sign you are looking for is two-handed and whether the 2 hands are symmetrical. So these are the main search options. You can see that we selected the hand shapes of 2 extended fingers, signed in the neutral signing space, and the hands are symmetrical. As in the case for Czech, also for Czech Sign Language, we can specify the lexical entry of our sign, which will be a noun in our case. Note that for each language, there can be in principle a different set of lexical categories to choose from. Let's see then what we found. We will look at the structure of a Czech Sign Language entry, and many things will be the same as in the Czech entries. For example, we can see that on the left side, there's a list of all the signs that satisfy the conditions we specified. There are small video previews that are clickable. We chose a sign that translates as evaluation and looks like this. Know that the head word in this case is comprised of 2 videos, the front view and the profile view. In the left-hand upper corner of the video, you can see a little letter P, which stands for a right-handed person, in Czech, of course, and alternatively, there can be a little L for the left-handed person. For this particular sign, of course, it doesn't matter, but for one-handed signs, it does, so it is provided everywhere. Now, on the right side of the video, there is a SignWriting representation, and some signs also have a hemnosis representation, which is then located below the videos. Now, the general information is comprised of grammatical or stylistical variants and also the area of distribution. Below that, the meanings are listed and the definitions are also given in the language we search for. So in this case, in the Czech sign language. Each meaning has also a example sentences or utterances also given signed in the Czech sign language. Now, below all the meanings, you can also either click to the multilingual dictionary or see the collocations with this specific lemma. So this concluded the monolingual search. Now let's see a bilingual dictionary. We can see that if we search a translation from Czech to Czech sign language for the word brother, meaning brother, we can see several videos, several signs, including the string bratr in Czech. This is the general interface of a bilingual dictionary. So you can see on the left-hand side, you can see the head word, the general informations and the meanings. And on the right-hand side, you can see the translations into Czech. And also to all the other available languages that we linked with this particular meaning of that sign. This concluded the bilingual search of sign language dictionaries. Let me just quickly say that we also have a general information about the dictionary in the About page. We also have a help page with complete manual how to search for specific signs and how to search in specific situations. And that these sites are also provided in several sign languages and that are translated. In the contact info, you can find all the universities included and all the materials that we used. And of course, the interface is also available in a bunch of different languages. Now, the very last thing I want to show you is that when you are an admin in our dictionary, you can also access various admin tools, and you can create statistics and overview of all the signs included. Now, of course, Dictio is a work in progress, so feel free to try it out, look through the site and send us feedback if there's something missing. Much like any other dictionary, we will appreciate any suggestions from you and from the users. Thank you very much.